माझा माईक
Madam, we are live.
मला आणि दीपालीला. आता किती जण आले दिसतायत तुम्हाला?
मॅम इथे तरी 4 आहेत. युट्यूब वर किती आहेत सर? मॅम म्यूट आहात तुम्ही, अनम्यूट करा. मॅम अनम्यूट करा.
We are live, no, Dipali. But slowly they will join. You know our student. Let them join first.
Okay.
हो. सुयश सर.
हा मॅडम.
हा हे पहा, काही मुलांना ते ना लॉची LLM ची आहेत, त्यांना काहीतरी ते लिंक मध्ये प्रॉब्लेम आला, तर आता आम्ही पाठवतोय त्यांना परत.
ओके ओके.
कसं काय नाही? हो आम्ही कधी पर्यंत अगं तुला पाठवलं मी, तू खिडकीकडे बघ, मग बंद असेल. ती पाठवतीये मुलांना.
ओके, काही जॉईन झाले का मॅडम?
हा आता होतील पटापट. हो. आणि जर तुम्हाला बाहेर हो, पण त्याला सांग मग मी बेल मारली की तुला घेऊन यायचं. पण आता तू देतीयस त्यांना. हा सुयश सर, तुम्हाला वाटलं ना जेव्हा 99 जर झाले फुल आहे, तर मग युट्यूबची लिंक द्या, मग आपण लगेच त्यांना युट्यूबची देऊन ठेवेल तुला. जर म्हणजे मग फुल झालं तर आम्ही युट्यूब देऊ.
सर तुम्ही रेकॉर्डिंग
आता
करताय
नाही,
का
आता नाही.
मॅडमची?
हो हो हो.
तर ते रेकॉर्डिंग पण द्याल, मेलला टाकाल आमच्या.
हो देणार देणार.
मला वाटतं आपण चालू करूया. काही मुलं आली आहेत तर निदान आपल्याला, कारण 6ला त्यांना दुसरं लेक्चर आहे, मग आपल्याला वेळ कमी मिळतो ना. सुयश सर. दीपाली आहेस ना?
येस मॅम.
आणि जर तुम्हाला वाटलं माझा आवाज नाही येते किंवा काय, तर मला सांगा.
हो सांगू.
झालं सुयश सर, चालू करताय? दीपालीला करू दे का सुरू?
हो हो हो. दीपाली मॅडम, वी आर रेडी, गुड टू गो.
येस.
दीपाली आवाज येत नाही.
मॅडम म्यूट वर आहात दीपाली मॅडम.
अनम्यूट दीपाली, अनम्यूट युअरसेल्फ.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes madam.
Yes, you are audible.
Are you starting or?
Yes, it's already started.
Oh, yes. So good evening, all of you, dear students. Actually, we are conducting the revision classes, and today we are having Dr. Rajeshri Madam. And it's indeed a great privilege to introduce Madam as a today's, Madam is conducting lecture on the subject of law and social transformation. So I welcome you, Madam, and it's indeed a privilege to introduce you. Madam is a former head and professor, Department of Law, University of Mumbai. Madam has an experience in holding the position as a former member of Maharashtra State Consumer Commission, former director, University of Mumbai Law Academy, former warden, Madam Kama Girls Hostel, former head, Department of Law, in the period of 2018 till 2021. Madam has pursued her PhD in the subject of child abuse, human rights perspective. Madam is a actually unique blend of teaching and administration as well, because Madam has worked in the various administrative capacity as assessor in the NAC committees of in the Bangalore, member of Executive Council, Damodaram Shivaji National Law University, member of Board of Studies in various universities. It includes University of Mumbai, as well as Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, SNDT University, Chairman Board of Studies, SNDT University, former member of Board of Studies as well, former member of a local consultative committee for the Indian Council of Social Science Research Center, and the former member of the Special Cells Subcommittee for OBC, SC, ST categories of the University of Mumbai, convener of a local inquiry committee, expert committees. Madam has represented the nation, India, for the National Visitor Program on the Humanitarian Response to Crisis and Disasters, a multi-regional project which was organized by Department of States, Washington, USA, in the period of 2004. And Madam was one of the, member amongst the 13 people across the world who was selected in this particular program. So even, at the international achievements, there are so many things in her credit, wherein Madam has participated as in the international seminar on the international law and jurisdiction in the era of the globalization. So Madam also chaired a session in the Asia Pacific International Conference on Child Abuse and Neglect, represented Department of Law, University of Mumbai successfully in the International Visiting Scholar Training Program for the in the Sage College, New York, USA, in the subject of the human rights in the period of 2011. Madam also has delivered lecture on the environmental protection legislation, role of a judiciary in the protection of environment in the Bolton University, United Arab States. Madam also has participated in the international conferences of the jurists and writers. Madam has done her minor research project on the rehabilitation and destitute and exploitation children, the problems and perspective with special reference to the metropolitan cities in India. There are so many awards and honors in her credit. It includes the special felicitation at the hands of Honorable Mr. Justice Y.K. Sabharwal, the then Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. And then felicitation in the hands of the Honorable Justice Y.K. Sabharwal, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Mr. Justice P.B. Singh, Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, when Madam appointed as a lady member, and in the State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. Madam also was felicitated and honored in the hands of Mr. Justice Deepak Mishra, Judge of the Supreme Court. Even Honorable Mr. Justice D.K. Jain, President, National Consumer Forum. There was a live interview which was telecasted on the Mumbai Doordarshan Kendra on the Sahyadri channel as well. Madam has visited so many countries. It includes America, New York, then Singapore, United Kingdom, Florida. There are so many research papers and articles published in the subject of the criminal law, human rights, environmental law, consumer protection law, etc. Madam also has edited the books, which includes Human Rights Jurisprudence, which was released by Honorable Mr. Justice Radhakrishnan, Judge, Bombay High Court. Then the other book, it was on human rights and administration of justice, which was released by Mr. Justice S. Radhakrishnan, and even on the subject of the environmental protection law and the constitution, which was published by Rotary Club of Chamber, Mumbai. Madam also co-edited several books in the subject of the human rights, terrorism, changing facets of criminal law, modern view of criminology, etc. Madam also has presented her paper, national and international, around 1,002 papers at the national conferences and 20 to 25 papers in the international conferences. There are almost over actually 50 seminars and workshops are conducted and organized by Madam. So there are again special achievements in Madam's credit. It includes the Madam also is a recognizing guiding teacher for PG student in PhD in Law, University of Mumbai, University of Pune. Madam also has appointed as a member in the as an expert member in the Faculty of Law, Bharati Vidyapith, external examiner in the National Law School of Bangalore, external examiner at the Bharati Vidyapith, Symbiosis College, Pune, Andhra Pradesh University, and there are even so many universities are there wherein Madam is actively participated and in the academic works of the PG students and PhD students. Madam also has invited as a resource person in various institutions that includes Maharashtra State Human Rights Commission, Disaster Management Cell, Government Law College, Peer Law College, New Law College, Guru Nanak College of Arts, Commerce, Mumbai, UGC, HRDC, University of Mumbai, Disaster Management Department, Department of Applied Psychology and Counseling Center, Department of Lifelong Learning, Asmita College. There are so many institutions where Madam has been invited in the various events. There are almost 7 students have been awarded PhDs under the PhD degrees. And presently there are 4 to 5 students are there for the MPhil degrees. So I welcome you, Madam, on this occasion, and thank you so much for this your address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Deepali, for such a detailed introduction. My colleagues from the Department of Law, Dr. Swati Rautela, Professor and Head, Department of Law, Dr. Sanjay Jadhav, Dr. Alka Patil, Mrs. Deepali Patil, Mr. Sheetal Setia, Dr. Suyash Pradhan, Principal of Gurukul College, Dr. Madhura Kalamkar, Principal of HVPS Law College, students of the Department of Law, University of Mumbai and HVP. I am very happy to see this attendance, which we were expecting. And for you people only, we have organized these special lectures of LLM. As exams are there very soon, all of you are aware, we are taking special efforts under the leadership of Dr. Swati Rautela, my colleague and friend and head of Department of Law, to organize these special lectures to give you more knowledge. So yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, madam.
हाँ, आवाज येतोय ना
हो, आता
मध्ये?
येतोय. Yes, yes.
सुरुवातीला मी बोलले ते नाही आलं का?
आलं सगळं ऐकू मॅडम.
आलंय ना?
आलं आलं आलं.
I'm thankful to Dr. Suyash Pradhan for coordinating with us and taking care of all this technological assistance which is provided to us in organizing this special lecture. And even my colleagues are there. Alka and Deepali are always there to coordinate with students and to inform you about the lecture link. Today's topic I have chosen here, children and law. At LLM level, first semester, law and social transformation is compulsory subject, and in that, this topic is there, children and law, on which always questions are asked. So you have to be prepared on this topic. That is why we have selected this topic. From the examination point of view, this topic is very important. My dear students, see, 19% of the children total are there in the world. In our India's population, if we compare, 1/3 are children, and out of those, 40% children are in vulnerable condition or experiencing different difficult circumstances. And budget for the child protection is only 0.04%. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru stated that children are asset of the nation. So it is our prime duty to take care of children. Future of our country is depending on development and growth of children. So we have to take utmost care. It is not only duty of the government and policy makers to take care of children's rights, but society at large should take care of these children. It started from our house, and we at our own should take a pledge that we will take care of children who are inside our house, who are staying in my area, and who are staying in nearby societies. If everyone takes that much care, then children will not be there for facing any kind of vulnerable condition. When we talk about children, there are different types of children. Street children, child addicts are there, children who are in need of medical help, missing children, children who are abused, children who are mentally ill, differently able children, HIV/AIDS infected children, and children who are child laborers, and so on. In all these different categories, children are facing different kinds of problems. Our Constitution of India gives guarantees fundamental rights of all citizens, which includes, of course, children. And then also, so many rights are guaranteed, but they are unable to enjoy it. All children are not enjoying those rights. So we should check why it happens. The most, either there is a child labor they are facing, child abuse. Child abuse, there are different types: child trafficking, child pornography, begging, then in drug trafficking also children are used. Child army is also there now. Children army in some of the countries is set up. Children are used for committing crimes. see what kind of vulnerable condition they are and why it happens. When we think, if so many things are happening with children, what are the causes? Of course, poverty is the root cause behind many such conditions. Illiteracy is another cause. Many children are unable to take their education even if they desire. And sometimes education is available, but they are unable to reach up to school because they are staying in faraway districts. Sometimes, as they are working in agricultural field, big families are there, and then 80% member of the families are working on the agricultural field. That is only the source of income for them. And then they are unable to send these children to school and they are unable to take education. Problem of child labor is there. Child labor is preferred specifically because child labor is cheap labor. They are available at minimum rate. Minimum salary is paid to them. And they are innocent. Sometimes in such condition, forcibly or without asking them their permission, child laborers are working in particular area. You know, everyone is aware that in jewelry making business or zari work is there, some kind of embroidery work in textile industries. Then cigarette, BD industries are there, where such kind of delicate work can be done only by children. Even in mines, some kind of work only children can be able to do. And then in such situation, children are employed, even it is not allowed by the law. One of the reasons again is that they are innocent. They cannot say no. Forcibly, they are compelled to work in miserable condition. As laws are there, in Mumbai it happens. In one of the small room, NGO informed police that in one of the small room, many children are working. And then that particular premises was raided where they were doing jewelry work, fitting some kind of diamonds. It was a diamond jewelry work was going on at their place. And there was, that room itself was dark. Minimum light was there and only focus was there where they are working. In that space, proper food was not given to them and continuously full day they used to work. And that room was locked from the outside so that people cannot be able to see what is going on. And minimum amount they used to give them. We may say it may be one kind of a bonded labor, because they used to bring those children, they used to work, and again one person used to take those children and leave them in one of the area slums. But police raided that premises, employer was punished. You know, in many household work also now children are employed, and there is strict law. For the government servant, it is not allowed. Child labor is strictly prohibited. So if it is found by the government or anyone complains to the government that in one of the house where government servant is staying and any child is working, then it is punishable and that person may lose his job. One another reason is that organized crime syndicate is there. They are in almost all areas, in all countries. It's an international racket. And there is lot of demand for these children. You are very well aware that in what way they are working. Even child adoption they are doing here, and then such adopted children are sent to abroad and then again they are abused. One another reason is mental illness. Sometimes they are mentally retarded and they are unable to know in what situation, where someone is taking them away, why someone is taking their photograph. They are totally unaware. And someone takes undue advantage of such situation. Constitution guarantees several rights to children. They are enjoying. Everyone is aware about CRC. Right to education is available to children, but 50% Indian children who are aged between 6 to 18 years do not go to school. Dropout rate is increasing alarmingly. In classes 3 to 5, 50% dropout rate is there for boys and 58% dropout rate is there for girls. They have right to expression, but many of the time it is observed that they are exploited by elders. Right to nutrition. Girls and boys, 50% of India's children are malnourished. 1 in every 5 adolescent boys are 1 in every 2 girls in India is undernourished. See this ratio. 1 in every 5 adolescent boys are malnourished and 1 in every 2 girls in India are undernourished. You only think what must be the reason. Even in our Indian society, in house, usually it is observed mother loves boy more than girl. Mother thinks that one day daughter will leave me and she will go to other place and she loves boy. When mother is serving the time of lunch or dinner, the family, she gives 2 roti to boy and 1 roti to girl, and girl is looking at mother when she will serve me, and mother, without looking at her, she takes care more of boy and she asks him, son, that how much you want? Do you want 1 more roti? This is seen usually we have observed. But nowadays, due to nuclear families, only 1 child is there and in care by their parents. But in earlier society, joint families were there and many children were there in the house, and that time usually it happens. So slowly, scenario is changing. Right to health and care. 58% below the age of 2 years, children are not taken care. no one is taking care of their health. Such a big ratio. Percentage C, 24% children do not receive any form of vaccination. 58% below the age of 2 years are not fully vaccinated. And over 60% children are anemic. Why this situation? Please think about it seriously. When they are anemic, why they are not taken care? Now, in nuclear families, both parents are working, and even if they have very good condition at their home, they are unable to take proper care of their children because of their lifestyle, their busy work schedule. It's not only happening in poor families, but it happens in rich families where they are leaving their children with maid servants, and maid servants are not taking care of those children. The right to protection from exploitation is available to children. My dear students, 17 million children are working as per official estimates today. And children on an average, they work up to 21 hours per week. As I say, when we are talking about exploitation, children army is there, and how their rights are protected. Just think about it. Forcibly, weapons are given in the hands of children. Even for explosion of bombs, they are using children, human bombs. Children are not aware. They are giving them packet and say you have to just deliver it at this place, or just take this packet and keep it at some place. Children are not aware what is there inside this packet. They are innocent, but they are involved in serious crimes. The right to development is available to all children, and for that, along with parents, society, I think government is also giving support by introducing many schemes. The right to have name and nationality. Vast majority of underprivileged children in India are treated like commodities and exported to other countries as labor or prostitutes. It happened in all of a sudden on airport, Mumbai airport. Police received tip about child trafficking, and they give warning to all staff of the airport to take care and just have a seriously check everyone that how child trafficking can be takes place here when so many police personnel are there, security. They started checking it, and one of the Arab person was there along with him. One lady was there in burqa. She wears burqa. So security personnel were unable to see who is there inside, but then they asked that Arab person, who is there inside burqa? He says, she is my wife. I'm taking my wife to my country. Recently, in last week, I got married in India, and now I am taking her to with me. So police, they were having doubt because she was in burqa and they were unable to see who is there inside the burqa. Police says, we wish to check her. Please show her passport. On passport, some name was given, her photo was there, and age was written as 19-year-old. But then police say that we wish to check and our lady police will check. Then lady police check her. When they remove burqa, she was shocked. She was a minor girl of just 12 years. Police very sweetly asked her that did you marry with him? So she says, she started crying and she says, I don't know what is happening in my life, but forcibly my marriage has been taken place last week. That is true, but it was without my consent. And I don't know what to do, but my parents are very poor. This Arab person has given money to them, and now he is taking me away from my parents to his own country. I don't know whether I will return back and what will happen in my life. She was crying and crying and crying, and police says, we will take care of you. And then that person was arrested for making false statement and under the offense of child trafficking, because consent you cannot is not consent is not valid in case of this kind of marriage. When he said that she has given consent, and girl itself herself was minor one. In that way, our police, because of their alertness, they saved one girl's life. The right to survival is also there for children. Out of the 12 million girls born in India, 3 millions do not see their 15th birthday. Millions of them are unable to see their birthday. Every 6 girl child's death is caused due to gender discrimination. You are all aware that strict laws are there, but even when girl fetus is there in the womb of mother who killed her, female feticide, female infanticide, these crimes are taking here usually, and it restricts birth of girl child. In such situation, we have to take care of these children. As per Article 21A of the Indian Constitution, all children between the age of 6 to 14, they should be provided with free and compulsory education. Article 45 of the Constitution of India provides for early childhood care and education to all children below the age of 6. Article 51K of the Constitution of India stated that parents and guardians of the children between the age of 6 and 14 should provide them with opportunities for education. Dear students, so many schemes are started that even at village level, district level, government introduces several schemes where parents are felicitated if they are sending their children to school. So at least because of some monetary gain, they will send, and it works a lot. As per Indian Penal Code 1860, no child below the age of 7 may be held criminally responsible for an action. In cases of mental disability or inability to understand the consequences of one's action, the criminal responsibility age is raised to 12 years. Then also sexual exploitation of children takes place. POCSO Act 2012 is made to protect the children from sexual exploitation and to provide for the protection of children from sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and any type of sexual offenses. And here the special courts were made that conduct these trials in camera and without revealing the identity of the child. If any kind of case is there before the court of law relating to child, these trials are conducted in camera. In Bachpan Bachao Andolan versus Union of India, writ petition was filed and Supreme Court ordered for implementation of orders of which helped to introduce significant reforms in the existing child protection regime. When we talk about child abuse, most of the time child abuse takes place because they are neglected. 34% children are victims of neglect. 28% children are physically abused. 8% are emotionally abused, and 30% are sexually abused. Now, in all schools, they are, for small kids, they are giving them information about good touch and bad touch. Many of the times, in the offenses of rape or sexual related offenses about minors, minor children, it may be boy or girl, both are victims many of the time. They are not aware, and their close relatives, they abuse them sexually. In rape and sexual abuse cases, whenever inquiry was there and police finds it out that very close friend or maternal uncle, paternal uncle, sometimes grandfather, see, such close relations are there, they sexually abuse children, and children are unable to understand that someone is abusing them. Only they feel uncomfortable, and if they started crying and complain about pain, then their mother takes that particular child to doctor, and after only medical examination, doctor says that they are sexually abused or physically abused, and then case is filed. In such cases, psychological doctors are invited, psychological experts are invited, and with their own tricks, they just talk sweetly with that particular child. They first make friendship with them and try to take out what exactly happens with them. And very innocently, they say that whatever, whosoever their relatives are there, how they take them away in any other room, and in absence of their parent, how they are abused. In one of the case, Childline India is NGO working for the protection of children, and once they received one complaint from the street children, about it was about the street children, that one British couple regularly they used to visit on the streets, and who are beggars, they used to take photographs with them. One couple, British couple was there, and they used to take at one point of city area, very prime area. These children they used to beg on the road, and this British couple used to come there. They used to talk with them sweetly. They used to give them chocolates and take them in their car. And then again, after few hours, they used to come back and leave those children on the street. One person was having doubt. He had observed and think what is going on, why they are, where they are taking. Then they inform Childline India, something is there, please try to find out and save these children. Then one of the persons from Childline India, they come there and they first make friendship with these children. And then they ask very sweetly, what exactly happened? Why these, it was a couple, so no one can take any kind of doubt. But then also they ask that what exactly they are doing. So children say that they are very good. We are very happy. They are our friends. But why they are your friends? Where they are taking you away? Then they say that they just take them in a car and in one of the our Kulaba, it's a Mumbai incident in Kulaba area, in one of the posh flat, uh, they were staying and they used to take these children there. And first they offered them good chocolates, biscuits, whatever they like, pastries. The children who were beggars, they were not having any food. They were so happy that they are loving them. They were under that impression that these both couple are loving them. So then they used to give them this, and then they used to ask them to remove their clothes, and they used to take their photographs. So this couple was in business of child pornography. They used to prepare CDs of such photographs, and there is a big racket of this child pornography CDs they are selling, and they were part of this racket. And it was a very difficult situation because they were British, they were having British passport, and to just to raid that particular premises was a very difficult thing. But the NGO, they meet commissioner of police, anyhow they convince, they have shown some kind of their proofs with them, and then they interacted with, first police also interacted with these children, and then they convinced that we have to save these children. And then one they suddenly police raided that particular premises, and this British couple were shocked, and all CDs were taken into custody, all material which was lying there, and they got that idea and they were sent behind bar. That case was there, and our court punished them, even though they were British citizen, and they begged before the court that we are ready to pay amount, whatever you say, but leave us, give us bail. Bail was not granted to them for 1 month at least. And they were asking for bail. They say, we are ready to deposit any amount for the betterment of the children. And court says, no, you face punishment and we will not give you any good treatment here. No bail. Their bail was twice, thrice rejected. So our court, Indian judiciary, plays a great role in protection of children's rights. When such incident happens, it leaves long-term effects on the minds of children. They have feeling of guilt and shame. Sometimes they are having feeling of different and alone. Feelings of sadness are there. Such kind of children are confused. They get angry continuously because they are unable to express themselves. Sometimes they get fear in their minds. They hate others. Feelings of hatred are developed in their mind. Feelings of depression is always there. Their eating habits change. It has created disorder. Anxiety is always there in such children. Sometimes they become more violent or they perform self-injury. this is a very difficult thing. Once it affects their minds, it affects their body, it takes years to recover such children. We may give any kind of psychological treatment, but it takes too many years to come out of that particular trauma. Especially minor rape cases. Imagine this situation, or because of drug addiction or drug related crimes, if they are punished and sent to juvenile homes, then what situation they are facing. I request principals who are present in this lecture, please conduct our students visit to remand home, juvenile home. You must see the situation of student. It really, it's having deterrent effect, because situation of remand home and juvenile home is not that good. If you see the situation, then no one will dare to perform any crime. But surely, if anyone is facing any kind of criminal situation in anyone's life, they will surely provide support, at least by approaching NGOs or police. As we have discussed, Constitution has given these children right to equality, rights against discrimination, Article 14 and 15, right to personal liberty and due process of law under Article 21, Article 23, Article 29, rights of minorities for protection of their interests, rights of weaker section of the people to be protected from social injustice and all forms of exploitation is available under Article 46, and right to nutrition and standard of living and improved public health under Article 47. Rights are there, but we have to take care of these rights. MC Mehta versus State of Tamil Nadu and others. You are aware of this case. It was relating to improve the working conditions for children and to provide children rescue from hazardous labor with an education. Honorable Supreme Court issued a landmark ruling that the Indian Constitution requires the state to endeavor to provide a free and compulsory education for children. Court found that children under the age of 14 could not be engaged in hazardous employment and ordered the government to establish and maintain a child labor rehabilitation welfare fund. Employers who violated child labor laws would be required to make a deposit into that fund. The government would also be required to offer the parent of each child engaged in hazardous employment a job or else make a deposit into fund. As I have shared with you that parents are also felicitated and sometimes cash prize is given to them for sending their children to school. And here, if they are working in the factories, then it is a duty of their employer that they should take, children should take their education. So it's a duty of employer, he should send that child to school or college for completing their education. There are number of acts are there. Child Labor Act defines child as a person who has not completed 14 years of age. The Factories Act 1948 and Plantation of Labor Act stated that a child is one that has not completed 15 years of age, and an adolescent is one who has completed 15 years of age. So under different act, different age is prescribed. The Motor Transport Workers Act 1961 and the Beedi and Cigar Workers Act 1966 defines a child as a person who has not completed 14 years of age. The Merchant Shipping Act 1958 and Apprentices Act 1961 do not define a child, but in provision of the act state that child below 14 is not permitted to work in occupations of the act. The Mines Act 1952 is only labor-related act that defines adult as a person who has completed 18 years of age. Dear friends, under Mines, children are strictly prohibited. Women and children. The Juvenile Justice Care Protection Act 2000 is enacted as a human rights legislation and which is now in force in all states uniformly, repealing the entire Children Act enacted by state individually. This legislation deals with two types of juveniles: juvenile in conflict with law, as defined under Section 2(1), and child in need of care and protection, as defined under Section 2(b). It stated that a juvenile or a child is defined under Section 2(k) is the person who has not attained the age of 18 years. In Sheila Barse versus Union of India, the court observed that children in jail are entitled to special treatment. Children are national asset and they should be treated with special care. The court urged the setting up of remand and juvenile homes for children in jails. She has filed a petition before the court that children are sent to jail. They are actually children, and as per law, children cannot be sent to jail. And then court conducted inquiry that see the position, what is happening in all jails. And they find it out that hundreds of children were kept in jails. And in one order, police says, court says that they should be acquitted. They were released from the jails, and court gives direction that juvenile cannot be sent to jail, but they can be sent to juvenile homes. In Sheila Barse versus Secretary Children Aid Society, Supreme Court came forward to protect the rights of the children in the observation homes. In MC Mehta versus State of Tamil Nadu, court has directed that children should not be employed in hazardous job in factories for manufacturing of matchboxes and fireworks, and positive steps should be taken for the welfare of such children as well as for improving the quality of their life. Article 39E provides that health and strength of workers, men and women, and the tender age of children are not abused, and that citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter avocations unsuited to their age and strength. Article 39F is also stating that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, and that childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material abandonment. My dear students, it is a directive principle, so it's a duty of you and me and society that children, life of children should be protected in all manners, and we have to give them opportunity that they can develop themselves. in adoption, as I discussed with you, one case I wish to state here, Lakshmikant Pandey versus Union of India. In this case, it was regarding complaint of malpractice indulged in by social organizations and voluntary agencies engaged in the work of offering Indian children in adoption to foreign parents. In this case, Justice Bhagwati directed the government and various agencies to follow some principles as their constitutional obligation to ensure the welfare of the child. Supreme Court framed elaborate guidelines in this matter, that there was no law to regulate inter-country adoption, and such lack of legal regulation would cause incalculable harm to Indian children. And therefore, they gives direction that in cases of adoption, and when adopted child is sent to foreign countries, it is duty of the government to take care, whichever government agency is there which is giving completing adoption formality, they have to take care of child, and they should be in touch with the parents that how they are taking care of this child, and they should take care that it should not be child abuse case. In Bandhua Mukti Morcha versus Union of India and others, Supreme Court held that whenever it is shown that the laborers is made to provide forced labor, the court would raise a presumption that he is required to do so in consideration of an advance or other economic consideration received by him, and he is therefore a bonded labor. The state government cannot be permitted to repudiate its obligation to identify, release, and rehabilitate the bonded laborer on the plea that though the concerned laborers may be providing forced labor, the state government does not owe any obligation to them unless and until they show in an appropriate legal proceedings conducted according to the rules of adversary system of justice, and that they are bonded laborers. So always we should take care that bonded laborer system should not be there. In JP Unnikrishnan and others versus State of Andhra Pradesh, Supreme Court held that citizens of this country have the fundamental right to education, and the said right flows from Article 21 of the Constitution of India. This right is, however, not an absolute right. Every child, citizen of this country, has the right to free education until he completes the age of 14 years. He or she. Thereafter, his right to education is subject to limits of the economic capacity and development of the state. One another case, Moini Jain versus State of Karnataka. In this case, the state is under a constitutional mandate to create conditions in which the fundamental rights guaranteed to the individual under Part 3 would be enjoyed by all, is confirmed by the Supreme Court. Without making right to education under Article 41 of the Constitution a reality, the fundamental rights under Chapter 3 shall remain beyond the reach of large majority, which is illiterate. The fundamental rights guaranteed under Part 3 of the Constitution of India, including the right to freedom of speech and expression and other rights under Article 19, cannot be appreciated and fully enjoyed unless a citizen is educated and is conscious of his or her individualistic dignity. So education must be there for the fullest development of children, and we have to take care that every citizen should get their education, which includes the children. In Vishal Jeet versus Union of India, Honorable Supreme Court issued directions to the state government for setting up rehabilitation homes for children who are found begging in streets, and also the minor girls pushed into flesh trade to protective homes. See, this is a pathetic situation that when case comes before the court of law and court then pass the order that rehabilitation homes should be set up for the children who are begging because they don't have proper home, they don't have their parents. Sometimes they are orphans, they don't know who are their parents. It's a pathetic situation, and unless court passes order, then only sensitization in the society takes place. In Gaurav Jain versus Union of India, Honorable Supreme Court ordered to rehabilitate children and child prostitutes after conducting in-depth study of the matter, and court directed for the constitution of a committee to formulate a scheme for the rehabilitation of such children and child prostitutes, and for its implementation and submission of periodical report of its registry. In Gaurav Jain, Supreme Court also ordered that uh, children of prostitutes should be allowed to take education in schools where other society children are studying. There was objection by other parents that if such children are there, then we will not send our children to particular school, and court said no, we cannot keep them separate because then uh, it will affect their mind that they are something different. Let us allow them that they should develop themselves in all possible manner, and that is why prostitutes children should be taken care of. And here in Mumbai, Prerna is an NGO which is working for development of such children, and they have started their school for giving them education, and they are taking care. Even they are giving some training to prostitutes regarding how they can have their nutrition totally, and they guide them about health hygiene. In People's Union Democratic Reforms versus Union of India, Asiad case, Justice P.N. Bhagwati opined that it stated about who is a beggar. Beggar means compulsory work without payment. Non-payment of minimum wages comes in the ambit of forced labor. Articles 17, 23 and 24 are also enforceable against private persons. In this case, it is a constitutional obligation of the state to provide protection. Construction works are hazardous, so employment of child below the age of 14 years in construction work is violation of Article 24. So, in construction work, children should not be employed. In Nirja Chaudhary versus State of Madhya Pradesh, Justice Bhagwati stated that whenever it is found that any workman is forced to provide labor for no remuneration or nominal remuneration, the presumption would be that he is a bonded laborer, unless the employer or the state government is in position to prove otherwise by rebutting such presumption. The court stressed on the released and rehabilitation of bonded labor. In state of Gujarat versus High Court of Gujarat, it was held that all types of prisoners, including prisoners punished for rigorous imprisonment, would be entitled to get minimum wages. Otherwise, it would be beggar. So, when prisoners are working, then some wages should be given, and We had given visit to Yeravda jail, and we have seen that some kind of work is assigned to prisoner. Special training is given to them, such as carpentry work, tailoring work, and then car repairing work. And when they are working, just like every day we are working, some amount is given to them and which is deposited in their account, and it is allowed to prisoners that they can send this amount to their relatives or whosoever they wish to send. In one another case, laborers working on Salal Hydro project was the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Justice P.N. Bhagwati reiterated that same construction works are hazardous. So employment of child below the age of 14 years in construction work is violative of Article 14. That's very true. Many cases I have discussed here. So that you can imagine what is actually situation going on. Government is trying their best. We have to try our best, and I wish to say about few of the government initiatives are there. I suggest you to check Ministry of Child and Women Department website is there. Even our state government website is there. Department of Child and Women Welfare. So you can check this website where number of schemes are undertaken by the government for the development of children and women and girls. Such as I wish to point out, one of the scheme is there that in district places, these girls wish to take education and they are unable to go to school because it is far away. So if their school is more than 5 kilometers far away, then for such girl child, government provides bicycle free of cost. They have to give this application through their talati or sarpanch of that district, their village, and they forward it to the government department and government gives it. When I had checked it, I really feel happy. And in one of the awareness program, when we had given visit to Junnar district, and that time I asked Talati and Sarpanch, "Are you aware of this scheme run by the government?" He said yes. So I say, "What happened in your village? Whether any girls are provided with bicycles?" So he said, yes, in our village, 5 bicycles are provided to girls and they are regularly going to the school and college. So I feel really happy. Such kind of many schemes are there which you have to find out. And as a law student, I wish that you should give information of such schemes to the district people and the children and society at large who are living in slums or who are illiterate. We have to create awareness about government schemes and let them take benefit of this. I think NGOs which are working in the area of child protection, they are extremely doing excellent job in this area. First name is about Childline India Foundation. They have started 24 by 7 helpline. Helpline number is 1099. So if any girl, any boy, any child is facing any problem, they can dial this number. And not only victim, but if you observe around yourself any kind of child trafficking, child labor, child abuse, such incidents, if you observe, you can dial this number and inform them, and then they take care about all kind of inquiry, filing a police case and rehabilitation of that particular child, and even custody of that child to whom it should be given, either to observation home, juvenile home, or some rehabilitation home. Wherever they feel that this is the best place, there they keep such children, and even they help for adoption of such children. Childline Advisory Board is set up in each city. They work with police, healthcare establishment, educational service organization, local, district, and state government institution department, and judiciary and legal aid services and media, because all are involved, all have to be involved if we have to provide help to any child, or we have to protect life of any child which is in trouble. Sometimes on railway stations, railway personnel, they find out some children, they are innocent, sometimes they are mentally retarded. They are unaware and they are crying. And when everyone leaves and they are just on the platform, standing alone and crying, then they contact police and they hand it over to the police, and police uh, contacted nearby NGOs. And then even police try to find out. Sometimes children are unable to say from which place they are, who are their parents, what is name, full name, address. They are unable to express, and then it becomes problem for police. But as you are aware, nowadays media is working excellently, and then they take photograph and they publish it in newspaper. Now WhatsApp groups are there, on WhatsApp group, YouTube, everywhere they show that this is a missing child, this is a child who is abandoned, and it works fastly. Then whosoever, if parents are there and they came to know, then they contact police, and then they again take custody of such children. So help of media is excellent in such matters. Other NGOs, we have Action Aid India, which is working for the area of child education and street working children. CRY, everyone knows, it's an international organization. Butterflies, NGOs, it engage themselves in offering free education to poor kids. Many foreign organizations are there who are having their websites, and they are giving our children, and even in world, children who needs to take education but they do not have this much money, then they provide financial assistance and they pay for their fees. Care India is again one of the NGOs which is having branches in 11 states, which is working for the betterment of children. And Prayas is also another organization working for children rehabilitation, and education, and reintegration of these children with their parents. My dear students, children constitute the nation's valuable human resources. The future well-being of the nation depends on how its children grow and develop. The great poet Milton said that child shows the man as morning shows the day. Hence, it is the duty of the society to look after every child with a view to assuring full development of its personality. Children are the future custodians and torch bearers of the society. They are the messengers of our knowledge, cultural heritage, ideologies, and philosophies. Children are really future components in the form of great teachers, scientists, judges, rulers, doctors, planners, engineers, politicians, on whom the entire society founded. Therefore, we have to take care of children, let them grow, let them develop. And we take pledge on this evening that we will take care of children of our nation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please feel free to come to the department and meet us for any kind of other knowledge about any queries of other topics of law and social transformation in India. Thank you very much. So yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajeshri Varhadi madam, for such an wonderful and interesting and obviously the most important topic, one of the most important topic in the syllabus in law and social transformation. Madam, actually today I am reminded of the words or quote by Albert Einstein, that education is not the learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think. And I think today's session by you has definitely made our students not only learn the topic, but also think, like you rightly said, the visit to remand homes where you can actually face or experience the problem faced by the children. And therefore, madam, from the bottom of my heart, we really thank you for such an wonderful and interesting and obviously, as usual, informative session. Madam, your guidance is always, any topic we give you, and madam, your guidance is always valuable. And the students from the reply themselves are expressing the gratitude for, explaining the topic wonderfully. I must also express my gratitude to Dr. Swati Rautela madam, the head of the Department of Law, University of Mumbai. Other colleague professors, Dr. Sanjay Jadhav sir, Dr. Alka Patil madam, Professor Dipali Patil madam, Dr. Sheetal Sethia sir, and obviously Dr. Madhura Kolamkar madam, the principal of Junjunwala Law College, and the wonderful audience that we had today.
Yes.
Who gave, I am sure they have noted down everything. And actually, thank you word is too short to express the session and information that we have gained today. Thank you very much once again, madam. And with your permission, I declare this lecture as concluded.
Yes.
Madam. Thank you
Yes.
once again. Thank you.
Thank you, dear students. Thanks for your responses. Please feel free to meet me anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. May I end this session now?
Yes.
Thank you.